That Wigan have never lost a semi-final in Leeds. 6 out of 6 at Ellen Road and here at Headingley, while Castleford have won just one of their last semi-final appearances in the city back in '92. But I'm sure that man Billy Boston will be hoping for a Wigan continuation of that form. Plenty of pace and power out wide in wings, Brett Dallas and Brian Carney. And in the absence of Jamie Ainscough, out with the mystery virus, look out for the speed again of David Hodgson, normally a wingman. Up front, Simon Horton coming in for Aussie Test second row man David Furner, another absentee because of that virus. Plenty of experience in the props, Terry O'Connor and Craig Smith. Castleford coach Graham Steadman has decided not to risk his ex-Wigan centre Barry John Mather. After an 11 months absence with a shoulder injury, he opts for another former Wigan player, Andy Johnson. And in the pack, in Wayne Bartram, Dean Sampson, Ryan Hudson, there's a good blend of experience and youth to tackle the Wigan six. Only one back, Castleford's Mark Lennon, sitting on the substitutes benches, and I think that's an indication that both these coaches are expecting some heavy traffic in midfield. The semi-final is always a nervous time for any coach, but both were relaxed enough to speak to our man on the touchline, Richard Duckyfield. He spoke to Castleford coach Graham Steadman. First he asked Stuart Raper, the Wigan boss, if he considered that this clash with Castleford was by far the easier opposition this weekend.
The way we've been approaching it, we're expecting Castleford to come out very fired up, and it's going to be a very tough game. Semi-final footy in Challenge Cups are always big games, and it's going to be a tough one for us.
After those back-to-back defeats in Super League, do you feel that you need this one to kick-start the season in a way?
We're not worried about the two losses. What we need to do is concentrate on today's performance, and whether it kick-started or not, we need to win this game. It's a semi-final, it's sudden death, and the loser goes out. We don't want to be the loser, we want to be the winner. We're quite determined to get things right and put on a good performance and come away winners today.
Of course, if anybody knows Castleford, you should, having been the coach there quite recently. I mean, they're a side who can pull off a surprise, aren't they?
Well, that's right. We had some good times when I was there, but now I'm at Wigan, and we're not going to underestimate them. They're going to keep trying all along, and like I said, but I've got to focus on my team's performance, and we're quite determined to get things right.
Thanks, Stuart. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Graham, semi-finals tend to be one-off games, but do you feel that Castleford can win this one on merit?
Yeah, certainly. On the back of his performance last week, we're certainly coming into this game in buoyant mood, and we're certainly coming here with an air of optimism. We know it's going to be a tough test. They're littered with internationals. They've lost the last two outings in Super League, so they're looking to put that right at our expense. If we get a good solid defensive effort and maintain our good start to the 20-25 minute mark, we'll be there.
Yeah, given Wigan's back-to-back defeats in the Super League, which you mentioned, do you think that they will be even more formidable opponents today?
Yeah, they've been wounded. There's a lot of crowd players on board, and the leader of their side is Andy Farrell, and he'll be looking to set the tempo right from the very first minute. What we've got to do is not only contain them, but better their start and take it from there.
Very briefly, it's a fine day, good ground. Does that suit Castleford, do you think?
Yeah, we've got a lot of quality footballers with a lot of creativity in our side. Bartram in midfield, Mitch Hill on the right and Danny Orr on the left. With our strike players on the fringe and his goal forward up the middle. We're looking very much forward to this side of Minister football.
Thanks, Graham. Good luck.
Castleford coach there, Graham Steadman, certainly in no mood to have his side classed as underdogs. I'm sure that little girl, Fiona Appleton, the Castleford mascot, agrees with him. But Andy Farrell, well, he does look in determined mood, just testing out this pitch, and I'm sure that both they and those Wigan fans and the Castleford fans will be looking for some good, attractive running on this very firm, very dry pitch. The groundsman here has worked wonders on this pitch since the last time we were here. Ideal for a cup semi-final, and those Wigan fans who have travelled over in their thousands, they know full well, Ian, don't they, that, well, when it's 80 minutes to Murrayfield.
Yeah, it's a special occasion, and the Challenge Cup with over 100 years history is a special occasion, and it's quite significant that Castleford here a couple of years ago.
Andy Farrell, only 17 when he made his first of his 4 Challenge Cup appearances, and Danny Orr, 23 years of age now, the youngest captain in Super League, but one with the temperament to inspire his side. Farrell hasn't collected many winners' medals since 95, just checking in for the kick-off. There is a swirling wind coming from the top right-hand corner. of our screens to the bottom left-hand corner. And Stuart Cummins from Widnes will put his whistle away at the end of this month. He takes up the position of controller of referees with the Rugby Football League. 10 years at the top, 3 Challenge Cup finals to his credit, and I think he'll be sadly missed in the middle. How serious do you think will the loss yesterday of those 2 Wigan lads, Ainscough and Furner, be to the side here?
I think it's a significant loss, Ray, because Furner over the last 18 months has been their best forward. And Jamie Ainscough is an outstanding attacking player. So they're 2 big losses, and it puts some pressure on young Hodson in the centres and also young Wild in the back row for Wigan.
Just one draw there. Of course, we won't have a draw today, whatever happens. Extra time, 10 minutes each way if we reach that situation. 2 packs testing themselves out, and the old campaigner there in the head guard, Mick Cassidy. Craig Smith, the Kiwi, not exactly fired since his arrival here, but a very strong, powerful player went down under. Adrian Lamb. The pitch very, very hard. The good weather here in Yorkshire in the last week or so really hardened it up. Michael Smith, number 23, the Kiwi, didn't settle at Hull, having his best period down at Weldon Road with the Tigers. Nathan Sykes, again another forward in his testimonial year, just recovered from a leg injury, missed out on that big 13-try win over Castleford last week. Dean Sampson rarely misses out on anything. Daniel, well read by Chris Redlinski. Made his debut as a 17-year-old against Castleford way back in '93. Brian Carney, Cork, Ireland.
It's a start, Ray, in that it's a little bit of a nervous start by both teams, isn't it? You know, just shadow sparring with each other, getting to their kicks at the moment. It's got all that atmosphere of a semi-final here.
Farrell looking to move way down that left-hand side. Wigan beating Hull, Union Trezis Catalan in France, and Lee in the early rounds. Castleford putting aside the abilities of Salford, London and Doncaster. And that will put a lot of confidence there in Richard Gay, the fullback. Good take, good catch, very experienced player, 33 years of age. Wayne Price. Sykes again.
We were out there, Ray, earlier about Stuart Cummins. He's been a tremendous referee, hasn't he? You know, I mean, we've been involved with World Club Challenge games and Challenge Cup and Super League. And he lets the game flow, doesn't he? He gets you back 10 metres and he really lets the players dictate the game and not him be the main attention.
Sampson, really passing that ball. Gay wasn't expecting it. Wigan now trying to move it down that left-hand side again. Hodgson, number 14, normally a wingman, playing in the centre. Simon Horton, out of favour last year, well picked up by Newton. O'Connor, captain of the Irish side in last year's, the 2000 World Cup. Cassidy. Craig Smith, good pass out there to Redlinski, linked up well did Redlinski. Farrow, that's a good tackle there from number 7, Mitch Healy. Smith again, very much in this game is the big Kiwi. On the 5th tackle, Farrow using that wind, but will it take it away? Yes it does. Well, we mentioned that wind that was blowing from that top right-hand corner, not judging it, Ian.
No, and that breeze is getting stronger, and it might have a significant effect in the second half there, Ray, at the moment. But it's good to see Craig Smith getting the action early. He's been accepting a lot of criticism at the moment, some of it warranted. But this is what they bought him for, to play in big games, and they can't come any bigger than today.
Great names in Wigan's Challenge Cup roll of history. Martin Ryan, Boston, as we've seen, Ashton of Fire, Gregory Edwards, Hanley, really a who's who of rugby league. But the outcome of this match doesn't depend on those men. It depends on the 26 down there below. And Castleford driving in well. Good run there by Michael Eager. Bartram. Could he not get that ball away? Gay. Danny Orr. Rich Healy. Using it well, but that was a forward pass. Came in at the right angle, did Andy Johnson, but the forward pass. The timing was astray, Ian.
Yeah, it was. He's a little bit undecided, Dale Fritz, and then he delivers the pass to a player that was already under pressure from the defender, and that he actually forced the error, but their lines weren't good, and it was forward. It was a good decision by Stewart. I think for any of the viewers back at home, Ray, is number 23, Michael Smith, the New Zealand second rower for Castleford. He's probably the most improved Super League player of the last 12 months, and he's got outstanding skills with the ball in his hand, and he's a player, as the game unfolds, will create a lot of problems for Wigan.
And as usual, we've got Richard Duckyfield down there on the bench. Any early news for us down there, Richard?
Well, news of a potential problem for Wigan. Gary Connolly is limping. He's been moving very, very slowly. The physio's been on. He's examined him. He looks to have freed up a little bit now, but he's obviously in difficulty. It would be a big blow for Wigan at this stage of the game if they had to lose Connolly.
Well, he's been out with a broken finger for a couple of weeks, so let's hope that Connolly can stay on the pitch. Terry Newton, nice little dart there from the acting halfback, but that's a better one to Adrian Lamb now. Then he's looking for support. He's put the kick in. Will he bounce correctly? Oh, he doesn't. Oh, and that's what settles cup ties, the bounce of a ball. I think he possibly should have kept hold of it.
Well, I've got to say that I thought the option was a great option. It showed great vision. He had two people on the inside. It gets the right bounce. It's a try. You could look at the other way and say, OK, he could have took the tackle, or he could have tried and get the support. But, you know, he doesn't have long to think about it. Gee, there wasn't much in it. And you're right. Bounce of the ball makes big decisions in big games, doesn't it?
I bow to your expertise.
I tell you what, coach's dilemma, but here, if Connolly does go off, if you look at the bench for Wigan, they're all forwards. 4 forwards on the bench.
That's true, but of course Andy Farrell can move to stand off, can't he? Possibly Simon Horton, he's played centre before.
Well, Julian O'Neill has played in the centre, so he's definitely a player to go to centres, or even Chris Radlinski and Julian O'Neill, the fullback.
Well, we'll see. Ryan Carney, number 5 on his back, former Gaelic footballer. A lot of responsibility on this Wigan and Great Britain skipper. The one man who perhaps can close a gap in this tight Castleford defence. Oh, terrific run by Smith and a beautiful ball. Now then, here's a chance. He's got Terry Newton inside him, and Terry Newton racing towards the post. No reason to kick this time. Terry Newton, the hooker, a local lad, an ex-Leeds player. He scored many a try here at Headingley for Leeds. Here now for Wigan. 15 tries last season, but few more important than this one.
We talked about the more involvement from Craig Smith. He bumps off Dale Fritz here, gets that right arm unload. Lamb was the bloke who made the previous break. This time he doesn't have as many hard decisions to make, as he's only got to draw and pass the fullback. Newton shows a little bit of flair that most coaches wouldn't like to see towards the opposition there. But it was a build-up there. Lamb made a break previously, which didn't come to anything, but then with Smith's go forward, gee, he started well, Craig Smith. Lamb, gee, he's played a big part early, Ray, hasn't he?
He certainly has. 2 breaks there. One that the try was foiled by the bounce of the ball, but not that one. Andy Farrell, as we saw, 2,474 points to his career. And here's another 2, surely. It is. Phenomenal points scored for one so young, just 26 years of age. And another terrific scorer there, Terry Newton, 32 tries in 72 appearances prior to this game.
It's interesting, both the breaks, the only 2 breaks they've made, Wigan, they've both come on Castleford's right-hand side, and Lamb's been involved with both of them. And that's an area that they're probably looking at now, Wigan. They're saying, look, we've gone there twice, 2 breaks. Newton and Radlinski, 2 of the best support players in Super League, and both are always hunting up the inside for tries, and that's where they get rewarded. They put themselves in the frame.
Is there a hint of a forward pass? I don't think so.
Well, if you listen to people sitting underneath us in the south stand here, they're all Castleford. It's definitely forward, but no, I don't think it was.
Well, as my old mate, when I played with Alex Murphy, used to say, read the papers on Monday. Good tackling.
This is the period of game now where Bartram, Sampson, Fritz, experienced campaigners need to raise the bar now for Castleford, especially when their defence, to really get off their line and get into Wigan.
Well, Wigan seem to be running well in these early stages. No hesitancy that they've been showing in the league programme. Newton and O'Connor, in fact, the forwards here queuing up to take this ball. 2 or 3 new players this season in Julian O'Neill, Jamie Ainscough not out today, and Craig Smith. Oh, a tricky kick.
That's a great kick after a try to come up with a set. It's gone 100 metres and a kick that holds up the goal area. Very good kick there by Farrell.
Castleford then trailing by 6-0, but Graham Steadman knows a long time to go yet. Wayne Barton, an acting half-back, quite big for a hooker. Mitch Healy. Good catch. Dallas timing that catch now.
Dallas here, he's picked the biggest bloke in the team, Sampson. But he's done well, Sampson, to push up there in the middle of the field and deny Dallas some space, because he gives Dallas space. He's one of the quickest players in the game, and he'll really bust you apart.
Craig Smith, seen a lot of him in this opening 10-11 minutes. And there's that man, Adrian Lamb, good ball there to Radlinski. Lamb again. O'Connor. Again, Dean Sampson moving up strongly.
Replay will be interesting for this one, because it's a vital one. It's in front. I think Farrell will take the shot here.
Well, he's judging that Dean Sampson was interfering there and O'Connor was trying to get up to play the ball.
Well, here goes the replay. You be the judge. Well, he can't keep interfering in the play of the ball. So, you know, he's warranted there, Stuart, to give away the penalty. The tackle's completed. Get on with the game. Sampson's overcooked it, in other words.
1,063 goals at just 26 years of age. A terrific rate.
Gary, let's have you out of the line, please. Out the line, one way or the other. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
Still some way to go to another Wigan legend, former Welsh hero Jim Sullivan. 6,022 points, that man. I don't think even Andy Farrell can get there. Can he get this one? He can. The flags are up. Mr. Wright and Mr. Hewitt doing their jobs. And Stuart Raper may not be smiling, but deep down he'll be contented with this start. It couldn't be better for the Warriors. 8-0.
Well, they're gimmies, aren't they, for Farrell? In front. He loved that. And breeze behind his back. You know, 8-0 lead. It's probably the start. You know, Wigan, if they had all their dreams come true, they wanted through that. They've had a fair bit of criticism recently. Come off 2 losses. They'll do wonders for their confidence.
Strong Castleford connections, of course, though, on the Wigan bench. They should know what these Castleford players do. Raper, the ex-Castleford coach for 4 years, and John Keir, his assistant, an ex-Castleford player. Good battle between the 4 props. Seem to be doing all the driving and doing all the tackling. Harold sensing a little bit of movement down that right-hand side, but it wasn't to be. Again, Nathan Sykes in. Newton. Oh, that's... he just couldn't get away. It was well taken by Fritz.
Gee, there was nothing in that. He either knocks it down, it's a scrum through to Wigan, it goes to Wigan, they're through for a hole, or he catches it, you know. Game of inches there.
Castleford then looking to get some points back on the board. Holding down. Well, Mr. Cummins being quite consistent. Penalty to each side for interference at the play of the ball.
There's no complaints from Craig Smith when he blew the whistle. There's got the one there, Fritz. It was going to Smith again. Once again, Wigan going to their left-hand side, Castleford's right, and that's where they're causing some problems. Smith here's tried to slow the play of the ball so they can regroup after this handover from Castleford, and he's just overcooked it also. And they're going to go for the two, are they, Ray? Or he's going to kick it out?
I think they are, but
no, he's kicking out now. I think
he's kicking down.
I think he's talking to the ref about the balls.
Yeah, I think he's a bit worried about the pressure. I wonder whether I would have gone for the two, because the wind that is here is actually blowing it from a kicker on that side.
Hold! Let's go.
But some would know better. They're the ones who are doing it. Danny Orr.
This is the first time they've been in their half, Ray.
Michael Smith charging away. Michael Smith now, and has he got the strength to get over? I think he has. He's taken Wigan by surprise. No hesitation at all from referee Stuart Cummins, and I was certainly wrong about going for a goal kick. I usually am. But that man, Michael Smith, the big, powerful Kiwi, charges over from despair to delight on the terraces for the Tigers fans.
Well, that's why I asked whether he's going for the kick. This is the first time they've been in field position in their half, and they need to apply some pressure. All sets it up very early there by taking them on. Great little captain's knock there. This is the bloke we said beware of. He's got a great right arm carry, a great right arm unload, and he's got a great stretch near the line, as he proved here. How many Wigan players are in the frame, and how many people can he drag over? A phenomenal performance.
I think we'll see 4 players tucked around him, but the strength and the sheer determination. It's amazing, you know, that 15 months ago, Castleford just let this man go to Hull. He just wasn't doing anything for them.
He was playing, Ray, with York in the northern forward, and here he is, just upping the ante on Wigan here now. And it was very good that they went for the kick for Solomon, because I thought it showed confidence there.
In excellent form this season since his arrival at
Gee, when you looked at the look on his face when he got the ball, Smith, it was all, I'm going for that line and you try and stop me. He pushed up here. Watch when he gets the ball, the determination. He says, that's mine, and the line's mine also.
and that
tremendous.
Stretching out to put the ball over.
That's why you work hard in the gym, to become strong in those areas.
Well, just before that Castleford try, Mike Gregory, the Wigan assistant coach on the bench there, was or seemed to be suggesting to Wigan that they should spread the ball wider from wing to wing more quickly. Strangely, it led to that interception, and I suppose indirectly led to the Castleford try as well.
Mistake there from Castleford, giving Wigan another option. O'Neill, good ball out to Radlinski. Radlinski going himself for the line. Just a bit short. That's a good tackle. That's good tracking there at the play of the ball. It robs Wigan there of any advantage. Again, Craig Smith getting through a lot of work. Barrow, he's got to play it inside him. O'Connor, testing times these now for Castleford. Adrian Lamb, ducking, dancing, dodging about this little Papua New Guinea half-back. Barrow again. Did it? 20. Did it actually go dead, or did it stand up and bounce for Rodgers, or what?
See the bounce of the rugby ball, a phenomenal ball, the way it bounces. Nah, he had 1 foot over and 1 foot in the field, and the ball was still moving. Yep. It's a fair result.
And that was again well spotted by referee Cummins. Just notice how he just tapped to his right foot there. He knew exactly what had happened.
Yep, when the ball's rolling in the in-goal area, if it's still rolling in motion, you're allowed to put 1 foot over the in-goal area and 1 foot in the field of play. Here's Bartram.
Oh, and Bartram now driving for that line. Good tackle by Radlinski. Castleford beginning to use this big, heavy front row, bearing down on Wigan. Mitch Healy, Danny Orr. Always had good, lively backs, Castleford, Highland, Hardisty, Millwall, Beardmore, Stevens, Hepwood, you name them. They seem to have a little manufacturing company down there at Weldon Road. Bartram got a knock. Still Castleford on the attack. Healy. That will be a dropout. Nicely judged kick, good balance.
Well, this is where they get rewarded for defending their line here, Castleford. They put a ball in the in-goal area, and now they're going to get a line drop out. Because when Wigan scored their try, they come up with 2 points at the end of it. And Castleford scored, they come up with an error. But now they've made up for that error, and they've put some pressure here on Wigan. It was interesting after Bartram's break, he's had to go off here at the moment with a little bit of a shoulder problem, which is a bit of a worry, I think.
I understand Richard Duckingfield down there, a problem with Wayne Bartram.
Yes, Ray, as Ian said, Wayne Bartram in that tackle with Chris Radlinski, he seemed to fall very heavily and very awkwardly on his right shoulder. He's just returned to the bench, grimacing, I have to say, with pain. The physio signalled straight away that he wouldn't be able to continue, not for the time being at least. Having a close look at him now.
Well, that is a massive blow to Castleford. He's kicked 10 goals in the previous 3 rounds. He's been in outstanding form, one of the real better buys this season from the Broad.
Here's the injury now. After a great break, he falls on his shoulder here, on his right shoulder. Just one of those things that happen. Unlucky.
And again, I think it's the hardness of this pitch that will have jolted him.
It is a very hard pitch. It's probably been rolled because of the amount of ruts through the bad weather.
Young Wayne Godwin, good young kid, 4 tries and 11 substitute appearances, and one of the many youngsters at Castleford making the way in this Yorkshire side. Castleford on the attack. Here is the youngster, number 18, Wayne Godwin, former academy player. On the 5th tackle, Smith to Danny Orr. Wigan under some pressure again. The second drop out. Ryan Carney doing the honours there. Suddenly the roar of Yorkshire ringing around this famous Headingley ground. And no trouble that man. Andy Farrell. Calm. Big trick. Nathan Sachs. Dale Fritz. Still Wigan being tested here again. Dean Sampson. This Castleford front rows charging in. Smith beats one man. Can he do it again? Can't get the ball away. Can't quite get through. But still, desperate times for Wigan here. Danny Orr, Mitch Healy. That's a good ball to Wigan. Good tackling.
Oh, tremendous tackle. He saved the try there.
I think he's hurt himself.
Talking about putting your body on the line, that's what you call putting your body on the line. Both players, one running into a hole, defender running at the attacking player. Put it on a lot of doubt here by running people at the ball. Nothing illegal, just 2 blokes committed to the task.
Last tackle.
And again here, I think we can see the quality of that pass, Ian.
Yeah, it's really great the way they set up for that, Castleford, and also the way they had bodies in motion. They create a lot of doubt. They talk about rugby league being a game for big men. Significant in this game so far. Leon for a small man for Wigan on their left-hand side, and also Orr on the left-hand side for Castleford, creating a lot of doubt.
Just a little bit of a worry there. Remember, this man had a broken jaw less than 12 months ago. He's got a plate in there. The Wiganers call him Titanium Man, and certainly that's what I think is the concern there from the Wigan doctor. I think he's taking him away.
He might have to put him in the blood bin there, if there's blood. It's a rule in rugby league. If there's any blood showing, it must go to the bin. And he can come back on the field of play, and it's not used as a replacement.
Get a replacement on.
As we're only allowed to make 6 replacements, blood bins aren't counted as one.
Well, I haven't seen the card book for a blood bin, Ian. Has a blood bin been given? I think the real concern there is about that plate that's been inserted.
Right, tackle one, stand clear, Marcus Sweat. On his foot.
There's a little cut that was not an awful lot of blood there, but certainly there's some heavy bruising. The youngster, Stephen Weil, 20 years, a former Wigan St Patrick's amateur player, came through the academy ranks.
That clash of heads not only halted 2 players, it also just slowed the momentum of Castleford down there a little bit. Let Wigan get reset in their defence. Timely break for them.
David Hodgson, of course, a Great Britain winger, moving from the centre now out to the wing in the place of Dallas.
Boot. Second tackle.
Referee Stuart Cummings just stopping the play while Brian Carney puts his boots back on.
There's a lesson in being naughty boys on the field, Ray. The referee said if you hadn't have thrown his boot away, I wouldn't have stopped the play. So if you've been a silly boy, I'm going to stop and punish you. So,
in days of old, the referees used to let you walk to pick up that boot and bring it back. Almost lacy tuck. Superb ball there to Gay. Wigan then now trying to stem the flow of this Castleford pack. Hudson. Frantic times for the 2 coaches. Healy can't get the kick in. Sykes, neither can Orr. He can get away though. Now he can't. He's got a good one.
And the news of Brett Dallas back on the Wigan bench. It is a blood bin, but he's very groggy. He's having a little breathe of oxygen there to try and clear his head. He was groggy after taking a bang, but it looks okay. I think the Wigan doctor's a man, has examined him carefully, and he thinks that once his head's cleared, he'll be okay.
And again, hold back, fellas, hold back. One ball.
A breath of oxygen there, Dr. Zamana.
oh, he knocked that on, yeah. Well picked up.
Before in Papua New Guinea. The Great Britain side.
That wasn't knock on, just a lazy play there by Newton. There stood some pressure there, and he's come up with a lazy play there. The adjustments they've made with Dallas being off is Hodgson's gone to wing, O'Neill's moved to the left centre, and Farrell's been able to move to standoff. So O'Neill's very familiar back in the NRL in Australia, a regular centre over there.
I think any youngster looking at that who aspires to be a hooker and an acting half-back there, Terry Newton's eye was not on the ball, was it? He was actually looking at the man who was going to pass to before he picked it up.
Yeah, it's like when you count ABC, Ray. He started at C, didn't he?
Heads in everywhere, please. And stay in.
Daniel.
Right, tackle one, let him out. And
There you go. A lot of pressure from Castleford this last 6 or 7 minutes. They've been looking to some points, otherwise the game has a habit of changing. Dale Fritz. Off the Queensland Cowboys player. Healy. Eager. Interesting to see Castleford attacking that wing where there's a little bit of possible hesitancy in the absence of Dallas. Danny Orr. Good ball to Hudson. Now they can get to the line. He does. And Castleford are over. The loose forward Ryan Hudson again. No need for the video referee. 2 tries against London Broncos in the earlier rounds. And the England under-21 skipper puts Castleford in the lead.
We talked a bit earlier there about the little men, the significant part they played. Lamb early for Wigan and Orr for Castleford. He's come to his left-hand side. Orr, gee, he's played well, he's looked sharp. His vision's been good. Was it a fraction forward? Well, like you said, read the papers tomorrow. Hudson's done very well there. A little bit disappointing with the last line defence there. You'd think there was a chance of smothering the ball and making a little bit of better attempt. It's the width they create, and It's a doubt with all the bodies in motion. Which one will they go for, Wigan? They go for the right one, but the execution's poor.
Certainly you would expect Gary Connolly to pull a tackle like that off, wouldn't you? Gary Connolly, very strong, very powerful tackler. But it's right, and it's Danny Orr in the absence of Wayne Barton to take the kicks. I don't think there'll be too many worries in this. Danny Orr, a regular kicker for Castleford, over 260 goals in the past for the Tigers. But he's kicking into the face of a slight breeze. And I think he's allowed too much. I think he actually kicked that too wide. You know, I think he was looking for it to be blown back in, weren't you?
Because he's a replacement kicker, don't think he's not confident. He's a very good kicker, Danny Orr, and he'd be disappointed with that. But look, the way he's playing, he'll make up for that later down the track. It's you're talking about Conley in the Test series against Australia. He's probably the best defensive player in the Test series. He's a little bit underdone at the moment. He's been out for a long period of time with injuries, and it probably showed in that incident there.
Certainly nothing underdone in this Kellogg's Newton Green Challenge Cup semi-final. Castleford in the lead then by 10 points to 8. 12 minutes remaining in the second half. And Castleford seemingly monopolising possession at the moment.
Yeah, they are, and I think it's a lot to do with Danny Orr. He's getting around the park, and Mitch Hurley, and their kicking game at the back end's been very good. And here's that man Smith again.
Certainly leading the way. When Castleford have been successful, they've always had a big prop like this. I can think of Dennis Hartley, Lee Crooks, Kevin Ward, surging down the middle. That's been their strength.
Have a go at those stats. Dean Sampson, 16 years at the top flight, leading the tackle count, and I've got to say, one of the reasons Healy and Orr can boss their team around the park is their forwards have got very good go forward, and Sampson's leading the way.
It's quite likely that Castleford will be able to call on the services of Wayne Bartram again in the second half. He's back on the bench, his shoulder is not broken, it's not dislocated. He thinks it's probably a trapped nerve, he just wants to get the feeling back in his arm. They'll have a look at half-time, but he should be able to get back in this game.
That's good news then for the Tigers fans. And I think we might have some good news too from Brett Dallas. I think I've just seen him slip on the field on the far side over there. A very concerned Wigan chairman there, Maurice Lindsay.
I think the other rap we've got to give Sampson too, Ray, is that it's gone 30 minutes this game and he's still on the park. For his age, he's done tremendous well. He's leading from the front, as we keep saying, numerous times now.
Richard Gay, that was a good kick, and that was a good chase by Wigan. They had at least 9-10 players up there, contained Castleford in that 30-metre area. Wayne Price. There is Brett Dallas. I saw him just step over the touchline.
It was a mile forward too. He's lucky he tripped. He didn't bring the crowd or the referee into that one.
Good break. Gay enjoying himself on attack. Smith again. Taking 2 or 3 men to put this Aucklander down. Danny Orr directing operations at first receiver. Healy. Oh, that's a towering kick. It's swirling in the wind, but Chris Radlinski, superb catching of the ball. I think that's one of the reasons why Leicester Rugby Union tried to tempt him to the 15-a-side code last year.
Well, you're not going to get a lot of mileage out of kicking the Radlinski in the air. You know, he's one of the safest fullbacks in the game, and that's a kick they wanted to kick to the winger, I'm sure, Hodson. But unfortunately, that breeze and that, it went to the wrong man.
Carney. Good tackling from the young Godwin there, the substitute. Lamb. That's a good ball. Radlinski just can't get away, but that was good play between Lamb and Farrell. Farrell again. And sensibly just staying down. Referee coming judging, but he hasn't in fact been tackled.
Good refereeing and good reaction by the Wigan players. They say he wasn't a hand put on him, he just hit the ground, and that's not a tackle. You can be penalised for a voluntary tackle also.
Barry John Mather on the Castleford bench, not quite fit enough in time to make the Castleford side. Barry, I mean, value for the lead, do you think, Cass?
Yeah, definitely, and I think we're playing some good football. We showed a bit of nerves early on in the first 10 minutes or so with a few drop balls, but we settled down and started playing some good football now. So, yeah, definitely value for the lead.
Thanks so much, Barry.
Oh, a terrific kick. That puts the pressure back on Wigan again. And Brian Carney, doesn't he know it? 40-20 kick. Look at this. Carney has a goal for it. He can't keep it in. And that will be Scrum. Head and ball to Castleford.
He's gone for a couple of 40-20s, Hurley, but he's gone to his right side. And like you said, the breeze is swirling to his left. And he's learned from that. And I've just seen Farrell, a couple of rucks before that. He was saying to Carney, get back. I think you're vulnerable. And certainly proved that way. Great vision by the kicker, Hurley.
2 points the difference between these two sides. Castleford will be looking to hammer home that superiority. Another try now. A point would make all the difference to win at half-time. Danny Orr. Ooh, risky. Here's a chance. He's got some space on the outside. Price. Healy. Sampson. Now then. Oh, not a good pass, but if it had been, there was a lot of that.
Well, if it's the right pass, I think we were talking about a try and showing a replay.
Sampson again. 10 metres now from that Wigan line. Danny Orr. Good defence from Wigan. Healy. Oh, well then, that's a blow there now then. Wigan going away the length of the field. Hodgson there to Dallas. I don't think anybody will catch Dallas. He's certainly one of the fastest men in the game. 90 yards try. And Dallas, the man who went off, those Wigan fans were so concerned about him 10 minutes ago, returns as the hero. Not a mistake, but you capitalise on mistakes if you want to get to the Challenge Cup final. Wigan have done just that.
Well, they shifted over their right-hand side again, which have made some yardage, and just the pass didn't go to the right bloke, and because they had people pushing up to go into holes, there was no one back there, and he's got a lot of pace, young Hodgson. He's done well priced to get back and regroup, but gee, give Dallas any space like that, he'll clear.
I think one of the advantages there of David Hodgson in being in the centre, he does have the pace to get away from the Castleford cover straight away, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, he's probably your more natural flair type centre instead of some of the big robust centres that are running around at present. But it's going to be an interesting time for Cass. It's right on half-time. It'll be interesting to see how that affects them confidence-wise, because they have been dominating the last 15 minutes defensively and attacking-wise. So they've got to take a lot of good out of this, Ray. They're opening up Wigan and they're creating a lot of problems. They've just got to get back up there and just miss that try.
Difficult game. Wigan was certainly not viewing Castleford as any underdogs at all, and it's not proving that way. The Wigan in the lead now, 14-10.
Right, stay behind, fellas, no start.
Disappointed game Stedman, I think, at this stage, not to go into half-time leading, but 3 minutes yet. Anything can happen as the sun comes out here at Headingley. Superb conditions for the top quality semi-final. Substitute. Looking Ivy. Simon Horton. Radlinski.
Well, Stuart Rabel was able to get Brett Dallas back in the game after that knock after he went to the off for the blood bin. I'm sure Graham Stedman would love to get Wayne Bartram back in sooner rather than later also.
Farrell, well, he wasn't tackled. He was crawling his way to that Castleford line. Terry Newton then now with the Adrian Lamb. Lamb, he's got Julian O'Neill outside him. Well read. Okay. urgency now in this Wigan side. Perhaps they sense that they've allowed Castleford to dominate in that mid-20-minute period. Hudson. Many young players now coming to the forefront in the game. Nathan Sykes in his testimonial season here at Castleford. Healy. Touch and goal. No tap on the 20-metre. Good battle between Healy and Adrian Lamb. They've played against each other many times in Sydney. 13 seasons with Cronulla.
They're not happy with the ball again. Must be with how much pressure is in it. Actually, one of the reasons that ball didn't go where Healy wanted was the charge out of the line by Lamb, the pressure he was able to put on Healy, and it just made him rush his kick. And he's been rewarded. They've been getting the ball in the 20-metre instead of a scrum on their line.
Hey, tackle one, clear. And out, and wait.
Adrian Lamb. Julian O'Neill. Cronulla being looked after. Referee Stuart Cummings getting both sides back. Good 10 metres. That's opening up the game. Cassidy. That was a good ball from O'Neill, but that wasn't. Surely that knock-on will take Wigan up to the half-time. They'll want to run through this sequence of 6.
You never know, we might see a little bit of a kick here for Dallas and a chase for the line using his speed. It could be on the cards here. It gives them a chance to, like, the average set of 6 in rugby league's 45 seconds, and we're going to get 30 seconds, so they should be able to mount a few rucks here. Wigan.
You're playing through his boot to it. That's the problem. Let's go, fellas, let's go, come on. Let's get in here so we don't stop. We haven't stopped. Well,
referee Stuart Cummings is taking up quite a bit of the time with this chat to the forwards. Surely, must be a kick. There's nothing else left on, I don't think. Julian O'Neill. Dallas again. No, nothing left. Just the one tackle in that sequence, but a cracking first 40 minutes. Wouldn't like to say which game this way is going to go. 2 tries each, just the kicking by Farrell separating the 2 sides.
This afternoon on Super Saturday, we bring you unrivaled coverage from round 6 of the NRL. There'll be fire and brimstone at Olympic Park when the Dragons and the Storm continue the feud sparked by the 99 Grand Final.
Who's in the space? Dyer is with him. He passes on to Noala, who will score under the posts.
Then at 5:30, the Bulldogs have a score to settle against the New Zealand Warriors in Wellington.
Morgan able to get his pass away, spreading away into Toffee. He'll go in and score.
At 7:30, the Raiders look to avenge 2 defeats last year in a grudge match with the Eagles at North Power.
Now they've got the ball back inside the Reeds, and Reeds will score the try.
We'll analyse the Night Sharks clash from Friday night. Plus, we'll keep you up to date with all the breaking sports news at home and abroad. 7 hours of spectacular rugby league. It's NRL Super Saturday, live from 2:30.
Watching a game without your big league is like eating a pie without sauce. It's just not the same. Big League is the complete guide to what's happening in the Telstra Premiership. The best stories, the best columnists, the best stats, the best photos, official team lineups, and great prizes to be won. If you're serious about your team, don't watch a game without Big League. In newsagents every Thursday, or get it at the game. A perilous course.
He went over the front of his handlebars and cracked his skull.
An unforgiving terrain.
That's the beauty.
Testing the limits of human endurance.
But we're at the point now where the body is kind of starting to rebel against this whole idea.
Could you survive riding 50 miles in the depths of Borneo?
Ah, crap!
The world's toughest expedition race.
What is that?
Eco Challenge continues Wednesday, 8:30 on 1.
Just that one loose pass snapped up by the alert David Hodgson in the 34th minute, sending those two gentlemen, John Keir and Stuart Raper, in at half-time with a smile. Castleford trailing by 4 points, but somehow, Ian, I don't think that scoreline will be enough to win this game.
Oh, definitely not. Excuse me, Ray, I've never need a bit of a talk at half-time with my throat. Sorry, mate. Listen, I just think there's a lot of tries scored left in this game, and both teams probably wasn't reflection at half-time. Castleford was dominating that last 15 minutes, and Wigan's got a chance to put things right at half-time. I think they needed that break also, but no, plenty of points in this game.
Pretty sure we'll see both sets of front rows tiring, which is possibly why, as we said earlier, in the substitutes line-up, just one back, Mark Lennon for Castleford to come on. Michael Smith, one who isn't tired as yet. Castleford playing against the slight breeze, but Healy using it well there. And Linsky using his pace well to pick it up, but that's good covering again, good chasing again. Just a couple of metres from that Wigan line. Dallas. Carney. A modern trend these days to use wingmen as acting half-backs or first receivers to try to put a little bit of space between the line and the defender. Adrian Lamb to foul. Sensible kick from Andy Farrell. Sends it Richard Gale right back there. Rogers.
Both sets of six start the game very well. Perfect start for both teams here at the moment.
And Godwin, the young Cornwall Academy hooker, still battling on there in the absence of Wayne Bartram.
He's done a good job, hasn't he, young Goodwin? He's only a young kid. He's not long out of academy, but Bartram's a big match player, played Test football for Australia and State of Origin. I think it's for them to win the back end, it'll be very important to getting back on. But they haven't made that decision. They've shown a lot of faith in young kids.
And that's a good run from the young lad. Oh, and a superb pass there to Sampson. Richard Gale wondering what to do with that pass. Castleford though still trying to play adventurous rugby. Danny Orr sending Dallas back. Covered again. Hudson leading in the tackle. Radlinski really managed to evade the tacklers, Chris Radlinski, but when he does, just watch out for his pace as well. Plenty of speed in that Wigan back division.
No starts, fellas, no starts.
Newton. Nice switch of play by Farrell. Newton again. Adrian Lamb. Ricky Baby. Farrell again. Simon Horton. He can run this lad if he can just get away. He gets the pass away to Newton. To Lamb. This is good work from Wigan now. Cassidy coming right on at the precise moment. And a good tackle. Newton making play now from an acting half-back position. Lamb. Price is underneath it all. He takes it superbly. Good catch there from Wayne Price, former Great Britain schools player, just 20 years of age.
We're talking about young English players here now. We talked about Goodwin and Hooker. We're talking about Price now on the wing, and he's doubled up with another run, which he's done numerous times. We talked about Hodgson, who picked that ball up and ran and gave to Dallas for the try. Some very good young English talent on display here today also.
Daniel Smith. Better this time. Good battle there between Smith and Julian O'Neill. Radlinski has Carney with him. Has Carney with Paul. Horton took him up. Hodgson doing well in the centre. Lamb again. Good strong burst there too from Ricky Bybee, another 20-year-old former academy player. Farrell now. Wigan increasing the pressure here now on Castleford, looking for another 4 points to take them away. Farrell. He's doing a technical drop kick there. Still the last one, judging that the ball wasn't played by a Castleford man. Farrell again, but the Castleford defence coming out very, very quickly. Did well to shut Wigan down there. Rodgers, good run there, Rodgers.
Good at a counter-attack. The fans were a bit disappointed there. They thought he might have been impeded young Hudson trying to commit a tackle there. But it's come all right for Castle at the moment. They just lift the tempo a little bit here, Wigan, after half-time, to their advantage.
Sampson again getting away, a good pass.
That question you asked before, is there more points in it, Ray? It's just got to look at some of the half breaks they're making at the moment. I'll definitely see some tries in the second half, won't we?
Godwin. Well, a sign of confidence there from the youngster. The more he runs away from that in half-back position. Again, having trouble with the wind and the bounce of the ball. Not the ideal conditions that we thought would be at kick-off. Switch inside. Good tackle there. Superb tackle there from the number 8 Nathan Sykes. Should have got away there. It could have been another 80-metre try. On the 5th tackle.
Yeah, it was Liam's starting to orchestrate things here at the moment. It's a real test between the young kids in that really Lamb for Wigan and Orr and Healy there. They're the orchestras of the music section here at the moment.
And Lang using that crosswind to put pressure on that young lad there, but he's certainly up to it. Good catching, good running from Price.
Could be that Dean Sampson, the Castleford veteran, needed a rest after that first half effort, but he's also got an injured right thigh. It's being worked on now on the bench, so it wasn't entirely fatigue that brought Dean Sampson off.
Castleford really keeping this ball moving. Beautiful running rugby. Here they are now. Danny Orr, he's got a break down that left-hand side. Nice pass inside to Michael Smith. Can he get that ball away? Yes, he can. Ryan Hudson. Terrific play here from Castleford. Still the ball is in the air. Here's Fritz. It's still Wigan under pressure. 3 more tackles remaining in this sequence. Castleford throwing the ball around with abandon. Nathan Sykes charging to the line. He's got Godwin with him. Just leading on the man in support. Ryan Hudson. There's a gap there, but he throws it out wide. Smith knocks on. Well, for one moment I thought Hudson was going for that gap just below the post.
Oh, some great enterprising play of keeping the ball alive, and that put the Wigan defence under enormous pressure. And Smith just loses a bit of concentration, worrying about what he's going to do after he caught the ball. And they had numbers, and the unloads there was desperation defence and desperation passing. And it's he's really let him off the hook there, Smith. But you got to give a rap to Wigan. They kept them at bay.
Well, that's a nice screw cap. It's like a stick of Blackpool rock, isn't it?
I think while he's asleep, someone was drawn on his hat, Ray.
Hey, tackle one, leave it, Richard!
Wigan Lang. Adlinski. But again, determined tackling from this Castleford side. Number 12, Dale Fritz in particular.
We keep saying when Bartram comes back, it'll make a big difference. But gee, this young Goodwin's really stood up for a youngster, and his attack, his defence in that tackle, he's really putting his shoulder in.
He certainly has. It's only his 12th game. He's come off the bench and everyone. He's there again, round the ankles of Farrell. Terry Newton trying to make play down this left-hand side. And Richard Gay, he's caught well this afternoon.
He's looked very sharp when he brought the ball back, Gay, hasn't he?
And Castleford are going to put the Australian Mark Lennon on in the next few minutes or so. He's been having a really stern talking to from his coach Graham Steadman here on the bench. Steadman said to him very simply that he wants him to boss the show.
Well, one of Mark Lennon's great attributes is his speed and his footwork, and they've brought him in now to break up this Wigan defence because he is a very good attacking player.
Mark Lennon, a man who was given his chance by the current Wigan coach, Stuart Raple, brought him over on a 6-month experiment. How ironic it would be if he could engineer a win. Half an hour for one of these two sides to engineer that win that will take them to Murrayfield in a couple of weeks' time. Case of Adrian Young being in the right place at the right time. An indication there of how close this game has been. Nothing between the two defences. But Castleford keeping Wigan down here in this 20-metre area with good, strong, keen tackling. The Warriors having difficulty making the breaks down the middle. Having to use these wingers, Carney and Dallas. Godwin off the field now, and Lennon on the field. It's a 40-20 kick, well intended, but just a metre or so short.
Well, he's just gone over the... he's inside for the 40-20, but it hasn't gone inside the 20, between the 20 and the try line. Actually, I nearly got full there, but it's a very good kick, and they probably needed that to run into touch now, Wigan, because it just slowed the game down, let them get a bit of composure, because they have gone a little bit strong in the last 5 minutes with field position, and also the way they're moving the ball, Castle. They look very enterprising at the moment.
A lot of activity down there on that Castleford bench. He wants to keep all the players warm. It has gone rather cold here, that wind a little bit biting now. Studying concentration. Smith. Wigan looking ever closer at Michael Smith.
Well, controlling very well. He hasn't got any unloads, has he, with the right arm, which is his most dominant thing in his game. But he has scored that try with brute power. They've controlled him well.
Kyle Warren, number 15, slipped onto the pitch from the Northern Queensland Cowboys. And again, Wigan tending in and around that 10-metre area. They can't really get away. Good tackling from Castleford. Warren in again. Bobby Howard. All the way through.
The reintroduction of Craig Smith, the Australian import. Terry O'Connor, one of the best English front rowers, is very important to Stuart Raven. When is he put him back in?
Another attempt for the 40-20. To no avail. Wayne Price, I think having second thoughts there about solid Castleford supporter there, beating the drum, banging up the support, and they really are getting behind this side. 4 points the difference. Sykes, what a good game he's had. Never shirked to dash on a run at first receiver. Hudson, good work from Hudson there from the acting half-back position. On the 5th tackle, Healy again. Huge kick. Oh, well taken. With his back to the opposition, took that ball. Oh, but another huge tackle there on Dallas.
Well, it's a great catch by Dallas, but it's also a very physical challenge by Castleford. And their kick chase has been very good here in this back end. And if they keep it up, they'll be rewarded because it's creating great field position for them. All they're looking for now, they're sniffing for an error from Wigan.
Again, can't get away. This tackling from Castleford is relentless. The fans here are urging them on. But Wigan, the masters of the Challenge Cup, record 16 times winners in the cup, and all the experience needed to hold out. Good kick again, but not a 40-20. 10 years ago since Castleford's last appearance, 1992, just Dean Sampson, the survivor. And Graham Stegman, of course, now in the coaching position. Smith.
That's what I'm saying. They kick the ball out, Wigan. They get the defence line set. They can really get off their line. Now that this is where their way of trying to maintain field position is by kicking the ball in the touch and then getting it down here.
Hudson, good ball. Again, good tackling by Wigan. Gary Connolly coming in, spotting the situation, leaving the centre position. Andy Lynch. Graham Stegman throwing all his substitutes on now.
Yeah, well, because at the moment, you know, he needs to keep fresh people at him because they're going after him at the moment. Gee, it's been interesting in one aspect, hasn't it, Ray? That no video ref and very few penalties, hasn't it? It's been a very, very clean open game.
Radlinski.
That's two. And again, fellas, left side.
No
Pull back.
gaps,
Yeah,
no
Mike,
openings.
come here. Come on.
As yet.
Great, Mike, come on.
There was that pause in your words then, not yet.
Not yet. Somebody must tire Ian. Somebody must tire shortly. 24 minutes, less than 24 minutes remaining. 14-10 to Wigan. Only one of these sides to be on its way to Murrayfield. The Challenge Cup final. Adrian Lamb. Superbly taken by Gale. Oh, and well transferred to Rogers. Good play between those two lads.
Number one, Reese.
Michael Eager. Good battle between Connolly and Eager, two being strong defensive centres. Healy.
Three, clear. And hold, fellas, and hold. Terry.
Warren. Hudson now assuming the half-back role that they play the ball. And again, a good kick. It's a kick that keeps the pressure on Wigan. It'll be Wigan ball though. So Rodney Walker, an interested spectator who will retire from his chairmanship of the Rugby Football League at the end of this campaign.
Oh, was that the area we're looking for? We're able to turn the referee's decision around.
Well, hardly an error. He's judged him ripping the ball out.
And he certainly has.
Yes, he does.
He certainly has.
And that has certainly relieved Wigan. A decision not very well received by the Castleford fans, but I don't think that will bother Stuart Cummings. Certainly doesn't bother Wigan. Terry Newton now, with O'Connor back in the fray, charging in.
Here we are, fellas. Get back on it. Come on.
And if stamina or rather fatigue is going to play a part in this game, and it probably will as we go along, both teams now have two substitutions available to them. So it'd be interesting to see how the coaches can marshal their remaining resources, really.
And I think we should remind everybody that with just a 4 points difference that there is no possibility of a draw. We could be into extra time. Here's a chance now then for Wigan. They've withstood the pressure. They've had all the tackling to do in this second half. But here they are now. Newton. To Farrell. Farrell out wide to Radlinski. No real problem there for Darren Rogers. No score in this half.
Just on 20 minutes to go and no points in that 20 minutes, or 20 minutes to go. And Radlinski there, he had a couple options on his outside, but he couldn't get the ball to the people he wanted, and his decision was to put the ball in the in goal and get another set of six and apply that pressure. It's interesting, Richard saying there's only two replacements left both teams. At 20 minutes, that's not many replacements, especially with the speed of this game and the intensity of it. Two might be a bearing later on.
Terry O'Connor then getting up a fair head of steam there. Still looking for a Challenge Cup winner's medal. Ricky Bailey, 20 years old, Milan. The ball out now with Julian O'Neill. Was down. Stuart Cummings looking for
Wigan ball. Right, knock on that
some
one.
assistance from the touch judge, Steve Wright over there.
Well, it should be a Wigan ball because it did come off Michael Eager. He got in between the attacking player, which is Connolly. He knocked it down. He went to pick it up, but that wasn't the reason there's a scrum put down. It was his original knock-on, which occurred for a Wigan feed. So we're looking at now 3 sets in a row for Castleford to hold out, which is a big ask, and they'll have to do well here.
Johnny O'Connor doesn't really relish leaving the field there with a blood bin, but orders are orders. Any sign of blood, player brushed off. He's not very happy, is he?
I think he might be paid per minutes, Ray. That's why he might be unhappy.
Julian O'Neill having to go sideways.
Okay, tackle one. Please!
Stephen Ward, another ex-Wigan St Patrick's amateurs. How many top-class Wigan players and elsewhere have come from that famous amateur club? Adrian Lamb, Bybee. Terry Newton. Oh, can he get the ball away? Oh, he just knocks on. Superb work there by Terry Newton. Classic play from the acting half-back position. Drew the cover and the men around him. Put the one-hand pass out. Couldn't be taken. And Fitz just taking a breather. I think one of the problems for Castleford this half, Ian, is that Wigan have kept very, very close eye on Danny Orr, who hasn't been running around with that freedom that he was doing in the only 40 minutes.
You're right, you know, I mean, it's a compliment to both teams' defence, hasn't it? You know, I mean, Lamb's tried to instigate some things, Orr has, Healy, but, you know, the defence has been very solid, and the scoreboard reflects that. Now, we're 22 minutes in the game now, and not a point scored in the second half.
Gay coming up, helping out the forwards. They must be tiring now. Kai Warren.
People talk about body language, Ray. You just feel at the moment, don't you, that something's about to give, isn't it? You know, you just can't put your hand on it. Which team is it? You feel like something's about to give here.
Healy with an attempt at a 40-20. Will he bounce? No, he doesn't. On the 20. Touch and go.
Here we go, the beauty of a rugby league ball. Which way will it bounce? Bounces right, it's a 40-20.
Still just that 4 points separating these two sides. Less than 17 minutes remaining in this semi-final. Not a point, but tense. Terry Newton, Cassidy to Julian O'Neill. Again, being forced sideways there.
Two, clear! Wait for his foot. On his foot, hold. That's all right.
Bybee. Wigan not really taking opportunities there, Ian.
Gee, you look at that, you'd say, gee, how far are they in front? 15 minutes in the opponent's half. That's a long time in a game of rugby league. And to not come up with anything, let alone a penalty or anything. Gee, that's great defence by Castleford.
On the fifth tackle. Again, using that high wing. Again, testing Price. And again, Price right up to it. What a good game he's had there out wide. He's never been exposed once.
Well, you can keep picking on someone, but eventually when they keep standing up, you stop picking on them. And the young kid's done really well here today. Young Price, young junior.
Andy Lynch, get out of there!
Wigan reduced to 12 men temporarily at the moment. Adrian Lamb taking some time to get back into the game. He took a knock. Certainly Wigan wouldn't want to lose that man. Instrumental around the play of the ball. But it's Castleford now coming forward again. 15 minutes remaining. Healy. And again, well taken by Dallas. An exhibition in catching the ball and bravery from these two wingmen, Wayne Price and Brett Dallas. Carney.
Two, go on, fellas, left side.
Both teams searching for that match-winning moment. Something surely has to give. Lamb looks better now. Farrell, there's a hint of a space there. Can't get it away. He loses it. That's a knock-on. Chris Redlinski vainly appealing to Mr. Cummins that he was knocked down.
Well, Farrell's threatened a few times. We've had young Goodwin make a desperate tackle. We've got Healy and now Hudson. He's lost control of it. It's a fair decision. And we talk about players. Gee, this referee Cummings has had a good game. He's going to be sorely missed when he retires in a couple of weeks' time. But it's a fair decision. He's lost control of the ball, Farrell, at a vital time when they were just starting to get in their half again. And those stats show they've had field position and they can't turn it into points, winning points.
Both sets of forwards taking a breather. Terrific respect between these two cats. Hardly a foul incident in this game. Played with great spirit between these two sides. Gay.
And it looks as though Castleford are going to bring back Wayne Bartram here for the last 15 minutes or so of this game. He's been warming up on the side. He's stripped now, ready to return. A specialist half-back on the pitch. At this time in the game, from acting half-back might make a difference to Castleford.
And I think also a top-class goal kicker might just make a difference. A man who's been kicking all season.
You know, like we alluded to earlier, you know, state of origin player, Australian representative. He's played in grand finals in Australia. That last 15 minutes and his goal kicking could be so vital.
Well, Fritz. Well, he's had the ball taken from him. Good play there by Adrian Lamb.
Thief in the night. A little bloke stealing the ball. It's a fair play, that.
I don't think he was expecting it off someone so small. Greg Smith back on there, charging in fiercely. Oh, he takes them, putting down. Really shown his true form this afternoon, the Aucklander. Farrell trying everything he can. One more try could do it for Wigan. Adrian Lamb, O'Neill. He's got men outside him. Radlinski with a little bit of space. Connolly lost the ball. Rogers now with it.
Well, the tackles are even, 134 each, which, the petrol tanks on both teams will be about the same at the moment, energy-wise.
Wayne Bartram lining up on the halfway line there, just jogging around, very, very keen to get on.
Normally history shows, Ray, when you come up with 2 sets in a row where you lose the ball, eventually you get punished for it. And are we going to see Wigan punished for some missed tackles here and drop ball?
Well taken by Rogers. Castleford mounting an attack with 3 more tackles remaining. Bartram can't wait to get on the pitch. The ball with Orr again. We've not seen a lot of him in the second half. Perhaps he's coming now. Michael Smith. Was it backwards? No. Knock on, says referee Cummings.
Well, I don't think so much it was good defence. It's just poor execution and not going to where they want the ball to go, Castleford, and their timing. That's the vital thing there. And there were some opportunities there, wasn't there?
Again, in a situation like that, Ian, a spin pass with a player so near from you, I don't think you really do need a spin pass. I think it's just a pass, where you surprise it out from the fingers.
Yeah, I think it's a spiral pass, they call it, which is really originated from rugby union. It's something which is overdone in the game at the moment, Ray. And I agree with you, old players, that it's probably not needed as much as it's used.
And again, come on,
I'm not being derogatory, you're old there. Last time we spoke about your looks.
Great, come on, Mike. I'm trying
about my hair next. I'm going to put my mother onto you. Adrian Lamb, again, looking for the 40-20. It's only Aubrey gets back there again. And a good run by Price. Now then, he's got some space. He's got no man to beat. He beats Radlinski. He's got support with him. Good time run, good tackle, good covering. Just looking at 5 Wigan players back. But it's the momentum with Castleford. Michael Smith charging down that left-hand side. Well to hold on there, he fought for a moment about passing it. Back to Danny Orr. Mark Lennon with a little sidestep. 3!
This is why he's brought Lennon on for his speed.
Mitch Healy. Back inside to Fritz. Good tackling there by Terry O'Connor. 2 tackles remaining in this sequence. 15 metres from the line. Kyle Warren. Big, tall, powerful lad. 4 metres from the line now. 4 points the difference. Hudson. Looking for a kick. Still the last tackle. Does Mitch realise what it is? I don't think he does. No, it's the handover. Mr. Cummings was shouting to him, but I think in the excitement, Andy Lynch didn't realise a handover.
Not only the referee was shouting, his teammates were shouting because they had numbers on their left-hand side, Castleford, and they could have got there. Big Michael Smith was there, the player we think is going to be the impact player of the game. And I'm going to make a prediction here. I think Smith could pull something out here for him, Rain.
Well, will there be one player to take one of these teams to Muddyfield? Less than 9 minutes remaining. 14 points to 10 for Wigan. They're hanging in there. The great Challenge Cup finalists. 26 appearances this famous club has made in a Challenge Cup final. Will it be a 27?
Come on.
Or will it be a 6th for Castleford?
It shows the tightness of players. Lamb wanted to play back on the inside there for an inside ball, and there was no one presenting themselves.
Andy Farrell. Another searching kick. Just allowed to roll down.
Gee, we've got some tight players now, haven't we? No points in the second half at present. Some opportunities, both teams. I still think there's going to be a try here, Ray, don't you?
Well, I think so. Very rarely do you go 40 minutes in a game of rugby league these days without a 4-pointer. Wayne Price, the coach, is now coming to the touchlines, can hardly contain themselves. Graham Steadman down there just offering a little last-minute advice. And home. Ryan Hudson given everything. And that's what both of these sides have given. A terrific semi-final. Bartram.
And again, hit the line! On the line and wait! No starts!
Lennon.
See, these little blokes, all Healy and Lennon, look to be the big problem to Wigan. And Lamb and Farrell trying to get Wigan around the park.
Healy with a high kick. Oh! No, he's knocked it forward.
All right.
He's onside. He's referee ruled it forward, but he's on the line anyway. On the line's out, rugby league.
Wait for his foot.
Ryan Hudson's back on the Castleford bench, doubled over at times in agony with, I suppose, what you could only politely best describe as an abdominal or maybe a groin injury. No wonder he's doubled up sometimes.
Wait for his foot.
Cassidy. 6 minutes remaining. Wigan 14, Castleford 10. Wigan with one hand on the wheel to Edinburgh. Lamb. Radlinski. For the first time, Price running into some trouble there. And suddenly Wigan are now up at the right end of the ground at the wall. Just look at that mass of Wigan supporters behind the post there, roaring them on into these tackles. They want to keep Castleford down here. They've lost the ball. Here's a chance for Wigan now to clinch it. Wild. 12 metres from the Castleford line. Farrell directing operations. 5 metres. Perhaps a drop goal would be enough. That would mean Castleford would have to score a try and convert.
I think, Ray, they'll be happy to stay down here and just keep chipping away, I think.
Less than 5 minutes left in this semi-final. O'Connor, Farrell, moving it well out there. Julian O'Neill trying to go through. Good tackling there by Lynch. Frantic defence here from Castleford. The ball with Farrell again. Like a dummy.
He's got him.
2 tackles in this sequence. Gary Connolly's driving for the line. Just can't. Has he got the ball down?
Time off.
Now then, for the judge. He's had an easy afternoon, Mr. David Campbell.
Yeah, I got a knock on.
But this could be vital.
Well, the fans behind think it's a try.
Wasn't what?
And the referee says, is it a knock-on or is it a try? That's the question he's asking. And, ooh, my first reaction, try.
Well, if this is a try, this lad who cost £250,000 in St Helens, he would have paid everything back, and he has. The Wigan fans are delighted. Just look at the relief there on Stuart Raper's face. They know that surely now, after a gallant effort from Castleford, this man, Gary Connolly, has put Wigan on the high road or the low road to Scotland. And I'm sure Andy Farrell will want to tack on the 2 points just to make it a possible certainty. And John Keir just risks a smile. Andy Farrell there. With the conversion, the arms go up on the cop end here at Headingley. The celebrations begin for Wigan, and at 20 points to 10, it really would take a Herculean effort now from Castleford.
Well, this is the turning point and the lead up to the try. The drop ball by Kyle Warren. And we've got 4 rucks later. Conley bulldozes his way over for a try. And it was so close in the second half. And it took an error by a Castleford player to give them that ascendancy. And Murrayfield for Wigan. Fans can book their motels now.
Yes, says Stuart Raper. He's had a lot of pressure on him this week. And all because Wigan have lost 2 matches in succession. Another club, not too many people would have bothered. But at Wigan, well, it causes trouble. Just over 2 minutes remaining then. 10 points the difference now. Surely too much for this brave Castleford side.
Unfortunately for Castleford, they give it all and they'll walk away here knowing they give it the best shot. They know that there's no decisions gone against them from referees and that. Unfortunately for them, it's they're just being beaten by a better team on the day.
If there can be any consolation, Ian Michael Smith, the Castleford prop man, as the man of the match, he has worked hard, hasn't he?
He has. There's been no great standout. Everyone's just toiled very hard in attack and defence. It's just been a game of like a real arm wrestle, just working away. Unfortunately for Michael Smith, there'll be no consolation, will it?
No, and that always happens when it's a last despairing effort. The ball direct into touch. Things begin to go wrong. We'll scrum down. It'll be Wigan's head and ball, and surely they'll use up this 6-tackle sequence to play out the final minute. 2 tries for Castleford, but they were unable to break down that Wigan defence in that second half. And it's those 3 tries from Newton, Dallas, and that clincher in the 75th minute there from Connolly that surely will do the trick. Andy Farrell sensibly holding onto the ball. A dejected and disappointed Graham Steadman, but he can take pride in what his side have done here this afternoon. Wigan have put their inconsistent form behind them. I think to defeat Castleford for the 2nd time in 8 years in a semi-final. They move on to Murrayfield surely for their first final appearance since 1998 and an amazing 27th Cup final. But here, looking for more points. It's Radlinski. Oh, nice flick back inside. But there it is. It's all over. The referee, Stuart Cummings, blows his whistles. The Wigan players and the fans celebrate. They've done their job. They can settle back and watch St Helens and Leeds do battle at their own JJB Stadium tomorrow. But for Andy Farrell, it's a job well done here.
Yeah, it's a great job. When you start the Challenge Cup campaign, your first thoughts is Murrayfield in the final, and they've achieved that. They're the first through, but I can say Castleford have given it a great shot, and the people of the town of Castleford could be very proud of their players. They've really fought hard, but unfortunately for them, an error there. A couple of things, could have went against them.
This has been a Fox Sports presentation.
Live on NRL Super Saturday, the Storm hosts the Dragons, the Bulldogs and the Warriors, then the Northern Eagles and Canberra. And from the Premier League, 2 games kicking off with Chelsea and Man United.
Next weekend in sport, we take you to round 7 of the NRL.
What a try!
And the English Challenge Cup final live. It's crunch time in the best provincial rugby tournament in the world. As we bring you every Super 12 game live. Tee off with the best in the USPGA Greater Greensboro Classic live. And start your engines for the NASCAR Auto Club 300 live. What a great weekend of sports.
Two roads lead out of the JJB Stadium. For the winners, the high road to Edinburgh. For the losers, the low road of despair. Both sets of supporters will be used to the tension of this occasion. Leeds have been in the semi-final 9 times in the last 10 years. Lost 5, won 4. St Helens, of course, are the holders, having beaten Leeds at this stage and on this stage, the JJB Stadium 12 months ago, in a classic cup tie. This is the way they will line up at the start. One interesting choice there in the centres from Leeds' point of view. Adrian Fowles, who no doubt defensively will be excellent, but maybe lacks the explosive attacking potential of Tony Carroll, who's on the bench for the start of this game. And Barry McDermott, the man who wears the number 10, will be very much the driving force. But keep an eye on Matt Diskin, who could be a very important pivotal player for Leeds in the hooker's position. St Helens are at full strength. Their half-back combination of Sean Long and Tommy Martin is a handful for any side, and no doubt will be a handful again for Leeds this afternoon. And having rested their front row for last week's Super League game when these two sides met, they are all 3 back: Darren Britt, Peter Shields and Kieran Cunningham. And the substitutes bench, well, one name that really does stand out: Rob Burrow, the number 19, who grandstand viewers will have caught a glimpse of a little earlier. He could be an explosive force before the afternoon is out. Ben Walker will get us underway. The lead standoff. The man who is charged with so many responsibilities in a game for his side, Dan Field and Kieran Cunningham with the first take. And here comes the early drives from the big men. Peter Shields taking it to within 20 yards of his own line. Cunningham. These are real testing moments in the opening stages where both sets of forwards really try to plant their authority on the game. Castleford. 2 men into the tackle straight away. The commitment is there right from the start. Cunningham again, little inside ball for Yonkers, who gets it away well. Long now. St Helens look to expand. Newell down the left-hand side, try to duck underneath Fowles, but that's what he's there for. Adrian Fowles with a tackle. Long, looking for the early kick. Francis Collins should have it covered. Across there as well is Marcus Sinclair. There's news of an early injury though. Here's Damien Johnson.
You saw that crunching tackle, Kevin Sinfield on Paul Skelthorpe, and Sinfield's looking very groggy. Of course, he's a key player at number 13 for Leeds, and let's hope he's better soon.
He has been in extraordinary form this season, Kevin Sinfield. really living up to his potential, so Leeds will be hoping he's better soon. McDermott now with a drive in. Really does give Leeds terrific power down the middle when he's on the field.
Senior's in tremendous form as well. He's very strong, very quick. They'll want the ball in his hand.
Sheridan again with the early kick in the tackle count. Taken by Anthony Stewart, the man who scored the try that broke Leeds' heart 7 days ago.
Okay, the ball's still up.
Mueller.
The ball was still up.
Here's Wellens. St Helens forwards were slow back there, weren't they?
Get up, quick.
The back's having to do a little bit of the work here, just conserving the energy which they'll no doubt need later in the game.
3 hands off, back with it. And wait, hold it.
Schofield. Senior doing the mopping up. Sinfield, you see, involved in the tackle as well, so the recovery seems to be complete. Britt. Huge put forward, Darren Britt. 5 Australian Test caps to his name. Cunningham will take it down the blind side on the 6th tackle. Here's Sculthorpe. Now that is a testing kick because it will fall in no man's land. Oh, it's just missed by Tommy Martin. It's still clear and eventually put down behind his own line by Ben Walker. But where was Francis Cummings?
I think Francis Cummings, you can see him there, number 1. It was a great ploy by St Helens. They attacked the blind side, which dragged Francis Cummings over to the short side. And then the cross kick into space. Very fortunate that Ben Walker was back there to collect the ball.
I think what we have today is 2 coaches who are very tactically astute, aren't they? So they will be aware of the opposition's weaknesses.
Yeah, very clever. And if you attack the short side, it's very difficult for your back 3 to work as a unit.
Schofield. Here's Britt again, just trying to establish the platform. Leeds are under real pressure though here now. Cunningham from dummy half. Shields takes it on, away to Yonkers. Yonkers brushes aside Sinfield, and he's going for the line, and just recovered by Sinfield and Cummings. But there was danger. Here's Cunningham again. Oh, he's over. That will be a try. That will be a try. No doubts about it. Russell Smith chose not to go to the video replay. Kieran Cunningham does what he does best. His 99th try for St Helens, Kieran Cunningham. He edges closer to the century, but more importantly, edges St Helens ahead.
There's the missed tackle by Sinfield. He took a bang to the head earlier on, and Yonkers did him with a step. As soon as Cunningham comes in here, you know it's try time. This guy is the best hooker, if not the best player in the world, and he doesn't miss those opportunities. Look, he's low, disorganised defence. There's no way you're going to stop him. Tremendous try, but all done by a superb Yonkers break.
Well, that will settle a few nerves, won't it? Certainly in the St Helens camp.
Yeah, but you've got to attack, the weaknesses in the defensive line, and I believe that, they noticed that Sinfield was injured, and they attacked him, and he just fell off the tackle.
So Long is a prodigious goal kicker, as well as being a very talented player with the ball in his hands. And he will must be shutting out the noise at the moment. It looks good. It is good. And the flags confirm as much. St Helens have their perfect start. They lead by 6 points to 0.
Yeah, there's the offload, which you have to stop. It's one-on-one tackler, steps inside. Sinfield does well to get back there, but you can see Kieran Cunningham coming in. They're shuffling out wide to the right. You just can't stop him.
Leeds defence knew it was coming, but it's how to stop it, that's the question. Britt drives it down.
Yeah, further news about Kevin Sinfield. He's still trying to clear his head. You saw him miss that tackle on Tim Yonkers, and normally one of the best cover tacklers in the game. But he's still groggy. He's hanging on in there, and we'll see how he goes.
Well, Leeds will not want to be forced to make an early substitution at this game. This is how it happened.
Yeah, just caught an elbow on the way down there.
Good take by Mueller, because the pass from Martin was just a foot or two behind him. Kevin Sinfield still trying to clear his head. Mueller again. So Helens have the bits between their teeth. Sixth tackle coming up. Martin, high kick again will test. Cummins is underneath it. It's a difficult one to take, and he has not taken it well. Knocked on but recovered, but he's conceded the dropout under the sticks.
Yeah, confidence, won't be high after the first kick. It's a superb kick because Cummins is aware of the two uprights behind him, doesn't want to bang into it. The crossbar comes into the equation as well, so, superb kick by Tommy Martin. So clever, the use of the short side by St Helens so early in the game.
Interesting call by the referee there, said it wasn't a knock on. If it had been, it would have been a scrum down for St Helens, and they would have had better field position. As it is, they've decided it was not backwards, so it's the dropout that we saw, and St Helens will have to start from here. Shields, he's given it away, that went forward. That's the kind of error that happens in semi-finals, isn't it?
Yeah, Leeds needed that. They were under the cosh a little bit. Why you try to throw that? They were in good field position. First tackle, I believe. So, they won't be happy. Millwood won't be happy with the pressure that they had. Now it's going to be released.
Senior. Sinfield's up at dummy half. Adamson with a drive forward. One of the ex-Australian internationals.
Yeah, he's been very influential in the Leeds form this season. Big ball carrier, great offload.
And St Helens guilty of just hanging on a little too long in the tackle. So the penalty goes Leeds his way. Further relief when they should have been under the cosh.
Yeah, just cutting onto the tackle there, Jointy, Chris Joint.
8 minutes played, and Leeds have not really had an attacking situation so far, have they? Maybe this is where it comes from. Sheridan's pass, here's McDunn now, looking to try and get in his stride, and it takes two St Helens men to pull him down. Diskin, Sinfield, little dummy trying to return. From Yonkers and Grit. Diskin again, here's McDunn, standing start, forward past that, but he was allowed to carry on. One or two groans from St Helens supporters. Sheridan. Walker. Good ball. And they almost find a route through, but St Helens cover defences down again. It was not forward, and it's Newland who's recovered it for Saints.
Yeah, good defence. Trying to get Adamson out wide, running at the centres, but loses the ball.
And now it is Leeds' turn to prove themselves over-eager in the tackle. You have to get up and get away from it so that the opposition can play on. And they just kept mauling and wrestling and lying on and just not letting Anthony Stewart up.
And Markham really won't be happy with that. They need to keep St Helens in their own half for a little bit.
Here's Wellens. Half-break and has support from Long. Long will dance away from Cummins. Terrific pace from the scrum half. Caught in the end by Marcus Sunderland. Cornwall's there too. But St Helens are there again. Cunningham. Now that the gap's out left. Quick hands here and it will be a try. Now was that forward. Referee says play on. Joint puts it back. It's knocked down by Shields. On any other occasion, on any other day, St Helens will have walked in for the try. Instead they give the ball away.
Yeah, that's a blown try. They blew and they'd be unhappy with that. They scramble, superb little ploy. Wellens comes through. Watch this, a dummy runner from Kieran Cunningham. Ball out of the tackle. Not the position you want to be in, Cummins. Long just takes him. Superb cover defence. Sinfield and Calderwood, but they blew it.
And again, not only knocking on, but giving away the penalty, and quick thinking from Vowles there with a tap. Well, you can feel the nerves that are on the pitch at the moment. Here's Head. Good pass by him. Now Senior, away to Connell, sits around on this left-hand side, just put a foot in touch. But that's all it takes.
The opportunity, I think. Senior should have taken the tackle there. Look, he's got nowhere to go. No space. Does well, but just gets a foot in touch. I think Leeds need to keep possession for a bit. Just starve St Helens off possession. Get the centre six, kick it, and then a good defensive chase. Put some pressure on St Helens in their own 22.
News of a couple of injuries in the Saints camp. Paul Newlove took a knock, and also Darren Britt. Just a sign of the intensity out there. It's close up, it's pretty hard stuff.
joint. St Helens are again in field position here. Castleford spins it away to Stewart. Leeds' defence is really being tested in these opening 12 minutes. Cunningham again. Long. No way right, so he'll try left. Brushes away the would-be tackle from Adamson. Little ball back inside for Newlove again. He's past McDermott and then runs into Andy Hay. Cunningham reverses it away. Shields is not put first down by Vowles, and he's allowed to offload. Long with a pass. Schofields well met.
They've got to stop the offloads. You know, they get into tackle, they've got great ability to offload. They've got to stop it.
Sixth tackle coming up. Last chance here for St Helens. Long. Out it goes to Wellers. Quick hands for Gleeson. What a try! What a terrific try! Albertson at the corner. But it was the passing that put him there. Martin Gleeson's centre play was exceptional.
This is a very, very skillful play here by Gleeson. Absolutely superb. Again, on the last tackle, they go the short side. They've got numbers, but there doesn't seem to be any space. Watch this pass. Take and give. Hilaire is too slow. A walk-in day for Albert, but made by Gleeson. Superb ball. They've got numbers, defence is there. Senior, he's got to make a decision. St Hilaire makes a decision to come in. The pass beats him. Magnificent play.
Newcastle Knights man Darren Albert. We've heard Jonathan in years gone by talking about how difficult it is to score in the Australian game. Well, his last season in Australia, he scored 16 tries in 23 games. That makes him quite a finisher.
I think he had a certain Andrew Johns inside him, which does help a lot, actually. The world's greatest player.
There's always an explanation, isn't there?
It is.
Well, there's some Saints fans who are singing at the moment. The Leeds fans, you can see at the end to which Sean Long is kicking, have been stunned into silence.
As I said, Dave, they need to keep the ball. You can't give St Helens so much possession. They're so dangerous, you know, they can attack from anywhere. You've got to put them under pressure and keep possession.
Difficult kick this for Long, but as a left-footed kicker, it's on the right side of the field from his point of view, and the kick is absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. 12-0 St Helens lead.
You can't say they don't deserve it, can you? You know, look at this pass. This is the overlap, the extra man, the full back, but that pass makes it. Marcus St Hilaire, the Leeds winger, had to come in and had to kill the ball. Tremendous skill, take and give.
It was on the sixth tackle as well, wasn't it? It was all or nothing from St Helens' point of view. Anxious looks from the Leeds bench. Now really alongside Darryl Powell. Shields. And Leeds still have not had meaningful possession inside the St Helens half, have they? 7 minutes of possession St Helens have had. Just under 4 minutes yet for Leeds.
You can't do that against St Helens. You can't afford to do it. You've got to keep your discipline. You've got to keep the ball for a set to 6, and then you've got to keep them in their own 22 if possible with a good kicking game. There is no kicking game evident yet in the Leeds play.
Tommy Martin with a little dragged blubber kick, which should be an easy take for Cummins, and is. Oh, what can he do with this? Sheridan. Senior. St-Hilaire. Little shimmy ball in both hands. It always just makes the opposition guess about what you're going to do. Cleary. Walker stepped out of the tackle well. Oh, he almost got through.
Tommy, you can hold your 10, mate.
Yeah, Tommy Martin.
The set before you were in front, that set you're in front. So I can't talk his joint the tackle before.
Well, Tommy Martin started that tackle offside and
there he
never
is.
played himself back onside again. That's
third man in there. Now he's second man in. Comes in to finish the tackle.
Well, the penalty. has put Leeds in sight. Sheridan. Now Cummins. Inside ball for Sinfield. Steps away. Yonkers couldn't get him. Shields could. Diskin. Sheridan. Diskin's quickly up there again for the acting half-back's position. Senior will try to bulldoze his way over from close range. St Helens' defence was strong enough, but now the questions are being asked of them. Sheridan. Sinfield. Half a gap, couldn't pop it through. Needed a long pass there, but didn't fancy it on his right-hand side. Cummins again. Walker, little grubber kick through into the in-goal area, and it's just watched out of play. They are very narrow in goals here at the JJB, so you have to be point perfect, and it wasn't quite on that occasion.
Defence was good. They needed a quicker play of the ball. They were disorganised on the right-hand side, and they had overlap, but the play of the ball was slow, and they had time to get back.
Down here on the St Helens bench, we've got Mark Edmondson, non-playing member of the squad today. Mark, a fantastic start for Saints.
Yeah, I mean, last time I spoke to you, we had a dream start against Halifax, and again today we're doing the same. Last week gave us an opportunity to do our homework on Leeds, and we've stuck to the game plan, and it's been a dream start.
Fantastic try from Darren Albert, wasn't it?
Well, exactly that same situation last week. You asked me about the hands. We've done the hands drill again. We just put it through the hands. Back to basics, really, and we've gone in for another try.
Thanks, Mark.
Just proves a point you can always remember the last time we spoke to Damien Jones. Schofield his tackle 5 yards away from the halfway line. Yonkers, here's Long. Manchester looking for distance, heading Leeds back. Here comes Cummins, looking for a meaningful return, but the chase is good enough to make sure that he dallies only 10 yards forward before hitting the deck. Fortuitous there. It's Walker. Brick just got hold.
Good tackle, Brick.
And then he spoils it all.
Spoils it all. It was a superb tackle, one hand on him, drags him down. Goes for the break, look, just gets one hand in his shorts, and then just flops on him.
There's only consolation for Leeds from this situation. It is that St Helens are the side who normally fight back from improbable positions. So it is now, can they hold a lead? Sheridan. Dermot. Is he strong enough? Not seen Barry McDermott on a real charge so far, have we? But Leeds have really not had the possession to feed in the ammunition. Flynn. Sinfield. Always looking to get the ball away, and it's scrappy in the end, but maybe with some effect. Here's Senior. Quick play the ball. Head. Will try himself.
Numbers on the right.
Diskin hasn't seen it. Fancy the devil himself, and now he goes right. Sheridan, little step inside, almost past Brick. Throws it back for Sinfield. Sinfield's kick for the corner. Wonderful kick as well. What a drama piece of quick onwards. Collingwood was onside, and if he put it down short of the dead ball line, that will be a try. But how quick was the thinking there from Kevin Sinfield?
Great kick. There's the pass. He has a dart first, Sheridan. Bang! One off the right foot. Can't go anywhere. No support. Throws the ball back. This is great vision and fantastic skill. Superb take. Great try.
Did he have a hand over the whitewash before he put the ball down?
Well, we will see. The play of the ball is good. There's nothing wrong with the play of the ball at all, so that's cleared. It's all about now, is he in front, does he ground the ball? Good offload again. This is magnificent vision. Lovely kick. Hang on, does he, takes it. Ball's down.
Roy Tennant is the video referee this afternoon, who will be watching this very closely before a decision is made.
Here's the play of the ball, he is up on his feet, so that's okay. Here we go, it's the offload. I think it's got to be a try. He can't go back this far, can he? You've got to... This is the play of the ball. How far are they going back here? We'll be back to kick-off now.
This is the play of the ball.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And hang on, he gets the kick. There we go, ball goes back. Is he in front of you? That's the question.
Well, he was a long way in front, but we never really saw him clearly, did we? I think most crucially here is whether the hand was on the whitewash, because that would negate all that evidence, wouldn't it? Anyway, a decision has been made. This is a semi-final, so they have to make sure they've got it exactly right, you know.
Here we go.
Impatient inside the stadium, and if the decision goes the way of their team, they will be very glad of the way. Here we come.
Right, does he get his hand? Ball down or hand down? Try. You can't see his hand, so give him the try. I think it's a try. Try, gotta go try.
Well, whatever happens next, there will be plenty of discussion about it. Calderwood waits and watches. Now, what's it going to be? Leeds back in the game? Yes! Hardly a flicker of emotion on the Leeds bench. But those in the stands are highly delighted. They needed that try.
Certainly did. That's a superb kick though, wasn't it? You know, the vision, the weight of the kick.
I think we can safely assume that Kevin Sinfield's head is now totally clear. It wasn't just the vision, as you were saying, it was also the weight of the kick, the way it beat the last defender over for his winger.
This will be a testing kick from the start.
He's a fantastic goalkeeper, Ben Walker. He played with the Northern Eagles in Australia last year, who didn't make the playoffs. But even so, he was the record point scorer in Australia last year. Which tells you something about his kicking. Now, has he found the distance here? Yes, he has. Other angle. It's game on again. Leeds have their points. Leeds 6, St Helens 12.
Always going to be close, wasn't it? Ball on the sides. He used to play the ball, that's fine. Diskin goes in, offloads. And because he breaks here, he drags the defence in a little bit. They've got to shuffle. And this is fantastic awareness. And the skill. He's onside there, that's definite. Stewart can't get it. That's a try. If he'd have seen it from that angle,
clears it up completely.
Yeah, that angle would have shown the offside, the onside rather, and then the grounding of the ball. So one angle of that would have been done.
Well, I have my doubts, but having seen that, I think that was a perfectly fair try. I'm sure one or two St Helens fans would beg to differ. Sinfield. Gleeson and Cunningham gave it the second attempt. Cleary. Fast motion at the moment, the game seems to have flown by.
It has, yes, there's 2 minutes on the video there.
Here's Walker, he's looking for a 40-20 here, long kick downfield. Ball scurries away, Wellens collects it safely. The Leeds chase is not lined up here. Crowellsville does make the tackle. Top 3 tacklers in the game, all Leeds players, which tells you an awful lot about who's had the ball most. Stewart. Sculthorpe. Cunningham. Here's Shields. Offload and a little dangerous, but St Helens get away with him. Sculthorpe again. Yonkers steps inside and gets it back to Sculthorpe. Here's Gleeson now. Sucking Leeds in the middle. Can they find the gaps? Gleeson will try and wriggle his way through, but Hay makes the tackle. 6 tackle coming up as well. Sculthorpe's crossfield kick once more. Fowles is underneath it. Oh, he's not got there. It might have been knocked back by Tommy Martin. Well, the referee says no, it was a Leeds hand, so it's another 6 tackles. St Helens have 6 from here.
tried the impossible again, you know, early in the tackle count, squandered another opportunity.
It is St. Hills game though, isn't it? They take their risks, they take their chances, and 90% of the time they do come up.
They're a horrendous side to play against. You never know what's going to happen, where they're going to go. It is just a nightmare defending against them.
And it always has been, hasn't it? It's whoever the coach, whoever the personnel on the pitch, they always seem to play that way. As when you walk through the front door at Knowsley Road, you've got written instructions. That's the way it's played in these parts.
And you had the overlap on there. I think that also have gone. Andy Hay, who's two men.
Adamson.
Been very impressed with Tim Yonkers in the second row. You know, he's come into this superstar side and he's fought his way through. He's got